Welcome to the Shellonomics Podcast, your source for pure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles entertainment, presented by King Mictus.
Alrighty, guys, another episode of Shellonomics. We might actually call this one TMNT Der Shellonomics. Our good friend TMNTDERTALK is here once again, helping us break this down for all our fans and listeners and viewers. We are getting into the 2003 4Kids 2K series. We're in season 2 right now, so let's just do a quick recap. How awesome was season 1's season finale? Like you said in the last episode, Christian, we actually get season finales here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you remember, last season ended with the Turtles infiltrating the TCRI building because they were searching for Splinter, who went missing. And then they found out that there are aliens in there, they're Utroms. And there was a big fight. And in the end, the Turtles, they were teleported away to who knows where. And that was the big cliffhanger ending of season 1. And it was fantastic.
Oh, man, I love this. So, now, I think you said before, you actually didn't get this show right when it came out, right? Did you get this in 2003 and 2004?
No, we got it in 2005. We got the first 2 seasons in 2005, but they were running back to back. But that was it. We never got past that. We never got season 3 through 7. It ended with season 2, and I'm still so sad about it. We got no DVDs, we got nothing out of this show. I mean, we had merchandising, we had action figures and stuff, but over here in Germany and Austria, that was it. 2 seasons, the end of it. It's so sad.
Yeah, because even the third game that they came out with, the Nightmare, I think it was called Mutant Nightmare or something from the 2K3 series, even that, you're like, wait a second, I don't remember these episodes. So, oh my gosh.
Yeah. We got the games. I played the third game. And I knew about the other seasons, but if you only saw the German version, you have no idea what's going on there. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Now, this came out in, 2003, 2004. For me, I was just getting out of high school. The Technodrome forum was pretty much like the only place I was able to talk Turtles. Did you talk to anybody about this Turtle show during the run, even though you didn't get them until 2005? Did you have any Turtle friends you were networking with 20-ish years ago?
Yeah, if I remember, we had online, we had forums. I think the Technodrome forum was already there back then, and we had mailing lists where I connected with other Turtle fans, and we talked about the stuff. And yeah, I even talked about this show to my friends in school back then, and I thought, this is the best TMT show ever. You should check it out. And yeah.
I was the same way. In the recap of our last show, I showed that VHS tape to about 4 or 5 of my friends and cousins, just like how hyped I was for that first episode. Things changed. But if you guys want to check that one out, it's already up on YouTube and Spotify. We're going to break down season 2 for you guys. And Christian, our good friend, take it away with Turtles in Space, a crazy 5-part miniseries.
Oh, dude, Turtles in Space. Yeah. I mean, this season has some really big parters, like 3-4 parters, but Turtles in Space is a 5-parter, and which is a very good adaptation of the Turtles in Space arc from the Mirage comics. As I said, we left the Turtles, they were transported away to space, and here we find out that they landed on a planet, they were teleported to the planet, the Hunib, and the first episode was called The Fugitoid, and that's the character we meet there. We meet the Fugitoid, aka Professor Honeycutt, and he's a scientist whose mind got fused into a robotic body, and yeah, that's a character straight from the Mirage comics. And the Turtles land in this battle between fractions in this whole story between the Human Federation with General Blank. And on the other side, we have the Triceratons who later come in. And everybody's after the Fugitoid. And the Turtles, they land in the middle of this fight. And, well, the good guys they try to help him. Which leads to the second episode called The Trouble with Triceratons, where, well, the Triceratons appear and they are after the Fugitoid. They actually get him. They escape and they escape the planet, and they take the turtles. Unfortunately, take the turtles with them, which leads us into the third episode, the big house, where the turtles, who befriended the Fugitoid, land in a prison. The episode is called The Big House. They land in a Triceraton prison, and they are captured there. And the Triceratons, they say, hey, Fugitoid Professor Honeycutt, you will build a transmat for us so we can use it against our enemies, who are the Human Federation. But the Fugitoid is like, no, I don't want to build a war machine. And so the turtles, they get thrown into into the arena, which is the name of the fourth episode. And there the turtles have to fight for their lives against giant monsters and other gladiators. And that's where we meet like there are good Triceratons even. One of them is called Traximus, who helps the turtles to escape from there, which then goes into the finale of this fourth parter called Triceraton Wars, where the turtles finally, in the middle, they try to get back to Earth. They are able to escape with the Fugitoid, and they're caught now between distractions, between the General Blank appears again, and there's the big fight between the Triceratons and the humans, and the turtles are in the middle of this, and they just try to escape, and they try to get out of there with the Fugitoid building a transmat, but it doesn't work. And it looks game over for the turtles, but in the last minute, the turtles, they get teleported out, they're zapped, and suddenly they disappear together with the Fugitoid. And that's where this gigantic five-parter story ends. And I think I got everything.
Nice job in one breath. Now, how hyped were you for this as a huge Ninja Turtle fan? We didn't get the Triceratons. Well, we had the Triceratons in one episode with Donatello. We had them on the cover of the third video game for Nintendo, and for some reason they weren't a part of that video game at all, which was always a really bummer for me. And then same thing with Fugitoid. He was in the third video game for Nintendo, but he was nowhere to be found in the original cartoon. How excited for you to just see the Triceratons and Fugitoids in a lot more, and they're in a lot of episodes too, obviously, in this show.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we meant when we said these episodes, this show is so much closer to the original cartoon, because the Triceratons and the Fugitoid, they're such a big part of the story. And I was so happy to finally get they get the presence that they deserve, to finally get in there. And as I said, this is an adaptation of a storyline from the Mirage comics, and it's a really close one to that. And yeah, as I said, I was really happy that finally Fugitoid in animated form, we've never seen it. I mean, he had an action figure back in the 90s, but that's it. We never got him on the show or anything. And now finally he's there. He's like in mainstream now, and that was really a good thing.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now we go from one miniseries to another crazy miniseries. These are something that, again, I wish I had in the original cartoon. I think we talked earlier, Christian, maybe one or two miniseries in the older show, if you count the first five-parter, The Incredible Shrinky Turtles, I.S. Sarnoff, and then near the end of the season's run with Krang, Shredder, and Lord Dreg, we had that like three-parter. But here we get another one here with Secret Origins.
Yeah, that's also a reason why I really loved the 2003 cartoon, because there's so many story arcs that overarch the overall story, and the character, they take time with the stories. Like, hey, I mean, Turtles in Space could have been 2 parts, but they made 5 parts, and so they had the time for the story to breathe, for the characters to develop, and that's why I love this show so much. And yeah, so it goes straight into the next storyline called Secret Origins, where the Turtles, they get beamed back to Earth, they get beamed back to the TCRI building, and even some Triceratons get beamed back with them, and some soldiers, and there's a little fight there. And yeah, one of the Triceratons even escapes, slips away. Maybe we'll see him again. And yeah, then the Turtles find out who the Utroms are, and through Matrix-inspired VR bots, the Turtles relive the origin of the Utroms, how they came to Earth. that they were transporting on a spaceship. They were transporting a criminal Utrom, and that Utrom manipulated the spaceship and it crash landed on Earth, and that was back in feudal Japan. So then we also find out about the origin of the Foot Clan, because then suddenly Shredder appears in his memories, like a feudal Shredder, and it's like, oh, that must be like his great grandfather or anything. And well, through all this, Baxter reappears and he's sneaking into the TCRI building. I mean, he's only a head in a robotic spider body. And he sneaks into the TCRI building, manipulates this VR system. And so in the system, for now, it was like the turtles could not interact with anything because these are just memories. But when Baxter did his thing, the turtles, they were caught in this matrix, in this feudal Japan matrix, and they could be hurt. They could even die in there. And so, well, the turtles had to fight ninjas and so on and so forth. And they found out about the origin of the Foot Clan, the origin of the Utroms, until they were able to get back to reality. But then who comes back and attacks the Utroms in the TCRI building? Shredder and the Foot Clan. And there's a big fight with them. And that's where we get the big twist of this. The big twist, the shocker that, well, I wasn't sure about back then. Like, okay, is this real now? Because we find out that Shredder, Orokusaki, is actually an Utrom. He is actually an Utrom called Jarrell, and he was the bad guy, the criminal that was transported by the Utroms back then, who caused a crash landing. And well, the turtles, they fight him, and in the end, the Utroms, they are able to destroy the TCRI building. It implodes with Shredder in it, but the turtles and the Utroms escape. So for now, everything's fine, and that's the end of this big, I gotta say, 8-part, because Turtles in Space goes straight into Secret Origins. It's such a big story, and it's so much going on. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, this is just, again, you get chills hearing the voice actor of Shredder again. It's like, oh my God. Now, what are your overall thoughts on Shredder as an Utrom? Which story, I guess, origin if you have one you prefer? Me, I actually enjoy the variety. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm curious what your take is on Shredder as an Utrom.
I think it's fine. It really works for this show. I mean, it's cool that this show, who based so much of its stories on the original comics, and for someone who knows the original comics, it can still surprise you with stuff like this. Like, oh, that I didn't see coming, and that this is such a good mix in this show from old and new, and it works together so fine. I think it's really an interesting take on the Shredder. I mean, it makes sense because if you remember back in Return to New York when Shredder was beheaded, but then he just walked out, no problemo. And everybody was thinking like, what's going on? How can this be possible? But now we know because it was just a robotic body. And it's an interesting take. It's a new take. And it really works for the show because it brings together the whole ninjas and Utroms and alien stuff. It brings all this together so much closer, because in the original Mirage comics, the Utroms, they had nothing to do with Shredder, the Foot Clan. They were separate things. But here we have like this big connected world. And as I said, for this show, it works totally fine.
I agree all the way. Again, right, the kickoff scene. I mean, usually sometimes shows digress when you get to the next season. This one is going up, up, up. It's like you get, and again, this was released every Saturday for us in the States. I'm like, I can't wait for the next one. Let's bring it on. And here we go with Reflections. Yeah,
Reflections is, well, actually the first and only clip show of this series, because the Turtles, after everything they went through, they go to Northampton for some relaxation with Splinter, Casey, April, and well, they talk about everything they've been through so far, how everything they found out about the Shredder, about the world. And well, we all get these clips from past adventures. But one thing that's very interesting is that in the end, the turtles are like, okay, Shredder did so much evil stuff, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. Because if the Utroms didn't crash land on Earth, there would be no mutagen on Earth, because then the turtles would not have been mutated and they wouldn't have been there to stop Shredder in the end. So it's all connected, and that's really something that like blows your mind. It makes total sense. It's cool. Yeah.
Much better than our next mutation clip shows, for sure. By far.
Okay, yeah.
By far. And then coming up next, the Ultimate Ninja.
Yeah, Ultimate Ninja is like this episode. It feels like a prequel story to something much bigger, because there's this mysterious ninja that appears in New York who challenges Leonardo to a duel, because he was the one that, well, back then defeated Shredder, because Shredder was the biggest fighter on Earth, apparently, and Leonardo defeated him. So now he challenges the current biggest fighter, and well, it's there's really a lot of action in this episode. Leonardo versus the Ultimate Ninja, and the big thing here is that there are some rules to this fight, like tournament rules, and the other turtles like, we have to help Leonardo. We have to help Leonardo, and Splinter's like, no, we have to play by the rules. And he knows what's going on. He knows uh, why these tournament rules are, well, in place here. He knows something. He's like, I will tell you about it later. Well, but in the end, Leonardo is able to defeat the Ultimate Ninja, and then his father, the Ultimate Daimyo, comes in, and well, he's like, Splinter, I know you. And the turtles are like, what's going on? Why does he know him? But yeah, that's a story for another time.
Oh yeah, exactly. And what I like is just I know in the original show Splinter did have a lot of dialogue, but he has just used so much in this series, and it's just awesome. In the old show, it's like, oh, he's gonna fight the Rat King, oh, he's gonna fight Oroku Saki. In this one, he is so much more involved, and I just really love that from start to finish. He is just a huge, I just love Splinter in this show so much. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. Because you really get this. In the original cartoon, he was like this wise old master who always had an idea or a plan or anything. But here, he's also the wise old master, but he can kick butt. He really, when it's needed, he gets into the action. He's there for his sons. He's fighting alongside with them, and he's much more in the action. And well, when he fights, it's always fantastic and awesome.
I agree all the way. And now we're already getting a couple characters coming back. I thought this one was pretty good. The Return of Nano.
Yeah, and well, as the title suggests, it's the return of Nano, the little robot guy from season one. Some of the nanobots survived. He gets back, he rebuilds himself, and he's got a new idea. He wants a family, so he breaks Harry, his like father, out of prison, and then he kidnaps the scientist lady from the laboratory where he was created, and he's like, you're my father, you're my mother, and we're one big family now. But well, that doesn't really work out, and well, he gets angry and he builds himself a gigantic robotic body, and well, the turtles have to fight him. And in the middle of all this, there's like not really date between Casey and April. So they're getting closer. That's also like a B story there. And well, yeah, in the end, the turtles, they are able to defeat Nano with an EMP, and well, he's gone for now. So yeah, that's the end of that.
I'd say it was fun fighting him in the video game. Like you say, it was always a tearjerker. Daddy, the little kid's like, how can you not feel bad for a little guy? Like a nice childlike innocent robot. So now we come into next one. What a crock. I still like my Leatherhead from the Fred Wolf era, and it's just because for America, Jim Cummings, the voice actor of Leatherhead, just was so badass. I love Leatherhead with his look, with the hat and the gear, and even the action figure we got was really cool because you could chomp his mouth. But this Leatherhead's a badass in himself, don't you agree? And what a crock!
Oh yeah. As the title suggests, we meet Leatherhead because we in Secret Origins, before the TCRI building exploded, we saw some mysterious shadows sneaking around, and it turns out that it is Leatherhead, a mutated alligator. Oh no. In this series, he's a crocodile. I always forget this. In the series, he's a mutated crocodile, and his character is much closer to his comic origin because he's not a bad guy. He's, well, a neutral guy. He's friendly to the turtles, and he's also very smart. And he's trying to build a transmat of his own because he was left on Earth by the Utroms, who were like his family, and he wants to reunite with them. He wants to go back to their home planet with them. And he's got some help by a scientist who you may know called Baxter Stockman.
Yes.
Yeah, and well, he's like, "Oh, my good friend Baxter Stockman," and Turtle's like, he's not a good guy here." And so, of course, there's a fight. There's a fight starting, and in this episode, we meet the new invention of Baxter Stockman, which is the turtle. What was it called? The turtle robot. The turtle, something like this. I think. Anyway, and yeah, there's some cool fights there between the turtle bot and the turtles, because the turtle bot can like mimic every move and ability of the turtles. So this is really cool fight scenes there. And well, in the end, Leatherhead's lair, Leatherhead's home, like gets destroyed, and he gets buried under the rubble, and well, the turtles don't know what happened to him in the end. Will he be back? We will see.
He almost reminds me of Wolverine a little bit, just when he has that rage that just comes out, you know?
Oh yeah, exactly.
All right, and now breaking down our next episode, some more friends return in Return to the Underground.
Well, in this episode, Donatello is finally able to find a cure for the humans turned monsters in the underground city from back in season 1. And well, he goes with the turtles back to the underground city. And it turns out that all of them turned back into monsters because the crystal moon that was, up there fell down into the lava. And so the light of the crystal moon didn't shine on the people, and that's what turned them back into monsters. So this underground city is now inhabited by monsters. Now the turtles have to get to the crystal moon to get the crystals, which is the basis for the cure. And all the while fighting monsters. Well, in the end, the turtles succeed, and they can cure all the people, or the poor people, and they are able to go back up into the real world, and which is a very nice ending to that storyline. And yeah, I like that.
No, same here. I just really, like we say, everything so far makes sense. You're not really confused, you know. In a lot of stories, whether it's Turtles or any show you watch, and like, wait, what did I watch? Where's the logic at? And so far, everything has made sense for the most part. And now here we go. I'm real excited to do hopefully some comic book issue episodes with our good friend Christian, because he's got me into reading the OG comics. We're in the Peter Laird B&W collection, and oh my goodness, this just makes these 3 episodes so much more special now that I've actually read City at War. So feel free to take all the time you need to cover this massive 3-part miniseries.
Yeah, Fit at War, one of the most epic TMT stories ever, gets its 2003 version here, where we find out that all of these fractions in New York are now fighting for dominance. Now that Shredder is gone, the underground is fighting. Who will come out of it? We have on one hand, we have the Foot Clan, we have the Purple Dragons, we have the Mob, who is working together with Baxter Stockman, and it's madness out there. And well, we also get like a fight between Rev and Leo there, because Leo thinks this is our fault. We defeated Shredder. Now the city is in chaos. The city is at war. We have to help them. And Rev is like, this is not our fight. We don't have to do this. Until then, a new character comes in straight from Japan. We meet Karai. And it turns out Karai is Shredder's adopted daughter, who came to New York to stop this war. And well, for a moment, she takes over the mantle of the Shredder to lure all the fractions, to the. I think it was the destroyed tower, Shredder's tower, if I remember correctly. And there we have like the big final fight. And well, in the end, the bad guys are defeated. Karai takes control of the Foot Clan. And so the war is over. And Karai promised the Turtles that because they helped her to stop this, that they have a truce now. The Foot Clan will not be a problem for them anymore. For now. And so for now, the war is over. And well, we have a new player in there, Karai, this is also her animated debut, because she was never a character in the original cartoon show. So once again, fantastic to see her in animated form. Such a big character, such an important character. And yeah, a good adaptation, I gotta say. Good adaptation.
I'm going to pick your brain for a minute just because we are diehard Turtle fans. We're going to have a little fantasy warfare. On my Twitch channel, I do fantasy wrestling with custom characters. So let's just do a one-on-one matchup. Lotus Blossom versus Karai. Who wins?
Ooh, that's a toughie. But I gotta be on Karai's side. I think she's the stronger one in this fight. Lotus Blossom is cool. Lotus Blossom is a good fighter, but I think Karai comes out on top of this.
I think that's how it would work too. I think it would kind of be like a horse race where Lotus Blossom catches Karai off guard, and then Karai's like, okay, no more playing around, time to end this, and she just goes all out, and Lotus can't keep countering everything. But that would be a really cool, that'd be a dream matchup for the Turtles. Maybe it'll happen in the IDW universe someday, or Saturday Morning Adventures. Who knows? Yeah. They always like to play stuff around with these Turtle multiverses.
Who knows what's possible, yeah.
Now here we go to probably one of the more random names of an episode, Junklantis.
Yeah, in this episode, Donatello and Michelangelo, they test the turtle submarine, and they go down into the ocean, where they find Junklantis. And well, this is the new home of the Garbage Man, another comeback character from season 1. And well, Mikey and Donnie, they get caught there because the Garbage Man is, with his technology, he's attacking ships, destroying ships to, well, get more garbage, to rebuild his empire under the sea. Well, in the end, the Turtles, Donnie and Mikey, are able to stop him. And well, apparently, in the end, he falls down into like this undersea chasm to be never seen again. Apparently, he drowns. Like a little, not really a spoiler, but he should have reappeared later, but that episode was never made. So yeah, that's the end of him. That's the canon ending of the Garbage Man.
Poor guy. Yeah, but again, it's not even like, even these episodes, I guess maybe you can call them filler, but don't you still love just even these episodes, whether or not, I guess, what's the word they call it? Canon?
Yeah, I mean, you can say that these are like filler episodes. Okay. It doesn't contribute that much to the overall story, but for me, this is world building. It makes the world more interesting. It makes the world bigger. If there are more characters in there. And I mean, like, they can come back, like we saw now with Nano, and with the monsters from the underground. That was like a season ago, but they pick up the storylines again and they continue from there on. So, hey, for me, all of this like works together. I have nothing bad to say about the 2003 cartoon because it's all part of the same world. It builds on one another, and even these episodes that like, okay, if I'm missing like the Chunklantis episode, I'm not missing much of the overall story of the main story, but I'm still having fun because it's an entertaining episode and it's cool. It's fine.
Yep, no, I agree the same way. And now I go into just another cool. I don't know if this was ever in a comic, but I thought this was great, especially for Casey Jones fans in The Golden Puck.
Well, this episode is not really based on a comic, but there was a comic that was kind of like it. It's like loosely based on a comic where Casey and the Turtles tried to get. Back then, it was like a golden cow that was stolen to get it back. But here we have like the golden buck, which is like this trophy from this what was the sports called, slam hockey extreme, something like
Super
this.
Slam Hockey, correct. Yep, Super Slam
Oh
Hockey.
yeah, right. Yeah, and some bad guys, like a gang of like this cowboy bad guys, they steal it, and Casey and the Turtles try to get it back, and they fight the bad guys, and well, that's pretty much it. They get it back from them, they defeat the bad guys, and well, everything turns out fine in the end, I gotta say.
Oh, exactly. And now we're getting into some more craziness. These are just really cool surprise. If you guys are just for some reason tuning in, you skipped the beginning of this. Christian did tip you off that somebody may come back, and here we go with Rogue in the House.
Yeah, Rogue in the House is a two-parter, which, in my opinion, could have really worked as a season finale here. And in this episode, we get Shredder is back again. You can't keep the guy down, even if he explodes. He will find a way to come back. I mean, the way he comes back is even like based on the classic comics, because they use like these mysterious worms to rebuild his body, which was something that happened in the original comics. And well, he comes back and he's got some new toys because Baxter and his soldiers and his scientists, they built the foot mechs, which are, well, like the robotic foot soldiers. And they even get like this Splinter mech that looks like Splinter, and it detects the turtles in the sewers. And in the sewers, the turtles meet a new guy, a Triceratron called Zorg, who was the Triceratron that slipped away earlier in the earlier episodes. And he landed in the sewer, and he's got a big problem because he's, well, a little bit crazy because he can't breathe in our atmosphere. The Triceratons, they have other atmosphere on the planet. So he's a little loony, and he thinks that the turtles are like soldiers like him, and he works together with the turtles. He's not in this state, he's not an enemy of the turtles. He's working together with the turtles, and well, the turtles find out that Shredder has a new headquarter on this big ship. And Turtles and Zorg, they sneak onto this ship, and there's once again, a big fight with the robotic foot soldiers, which was crazy. And then Shredder comes in and he's fighting, and there's this big fight between Zorg, a gigantic Triceraton, and Shredder, and they see each other eye to eye. It's really great. And well, in the end, Zorg even sacrifices himself, which is really, really sad, I gotta say. I like the guy. But we find out in the end that Shredder, once again, survived, and he will come back to fight another day.
I agree. I thought it was cool seeing a Triceratops and Shredder go away. It's like, what? I was like, oh man, here we go. It is on. It is on. They just, again, this show really does no wrong. And now we go into another cool episode, April's Artifact.
Yeah, in this episode, April finds an old artifact, which is like this puzzle cube. And it turns out that this is actually something that was left behind by her uncle August, who disappeared years ago, and nobody knows where he went to. He was like this Indiana Jones guy, this adventurer guy. And well, he disappeared, and April finds this artifact, this cube, and this actually teleports the turtles into another dimension, into another world, like this jungle world, where giant wasps are the dominant species. They are attacking the turtles, and the turtles and April have to work together to get to this temple, because they find out that Uncle August was actually living in this world. He was transported to this world. That's where he disappeared to. And apparently he went to like this temple building, which is now run over by these wasps. And the turtles go there, and they have to fight all these wasps and the giant wasp queen. And it turns out that Uncle August was actually there, and he was trying to get back to Earth, but he wasn't able to like put in the right coordinates in the teleporter that's standing there. And so he was transported somewhere else. But April and the turtles, they are able to put in the right coordinates, and they are able to get teleported back to Earth. And well, but April promises that she will find Uncle August, she will bring him back, and this is a storyline that comes back later. That's what I mean. It's all connected. It all they not only like, okay, like in the classic cartoon, we had some episodes in the classic cartoon where like, yeah, we will find a way, like the Muckman episode, we will find a way to turn you back, and we never see them again. No, these stories really come back. They pick them up later. And one of my favorite scenes in this episode is when the giant wasp queen, like a callback to Aliens, when April is like fending off the giant wasp queen and say, "Get away from my friends, you witch," which is like a quote from Aliens, more or less. And yeah, it's cool to see April in action. She's really great in this episode.
Yeah, they just do every character justice, and the word justice is in our next episode here, Return of the Justice Force, and just even cool stuff here. Again, being a comic book fan, it's another great episode here.
Yeah. Once again, this episode is a straight up adaptation of a comic from the Mirage Studios, and there the turtles meet the Justice Force, which are real superheroes. I mean, we already know superheroes exist in this world, like we've met the Silver Sentry, and now we've met this group of superheroes called the Justice Force, who were heroes like years ago. Now they are all elderly men, and they have to, well, get back to fighting because a bad guy reappears. And once again, as I said before, this is an adaptation of the comic, and I know the comic, and still this story surprises me, because in the original comic, it turned out that the bad guy was, well, the real bad guy, Dr. Dome, who's like this guy who can control these robots, these little robots. And here we also think it goes, the adaptation is straight. It goes like, yeah, Dr. Dome is behind this all, until we find out that Dr. Dome is like, no, I didn't do this. I was also attacked. And it turns out that Ananda, another character, was like, yeah, I am the daughter of Dr. Dome, and I want revenge for my mother who was killed, who's also a part of the Justice Force. And so she's behind this all. But, well, in the end, everything turns out fine, because Dr. Dome is like, I'm sorry for everything we went through, but hey, if you let me, I will make it good again. And then, well, they make peace with each other. And so, and Michelangelo becomes an honorary member of the Justice Force, so he's happy about that, because he's the comic book guy here. And well, cool story with some nice twists in there.
Yeah, the dream comes true for our homeboy Mike. You gets a lot more cool stuff coming. So this one gets a little crazier, Christian. For the big brawl, I actually remember this too, and I'm looking up a source to make sure I was correct in my memory. For the next 4-part episode here, guys, unfortunately for us Americans, they only aired one of these, and I have the exact date, May 15th, 2004. So, dude, all we got was the first episode, and then we had to wait until September to find out what happens here in this epic, awesome special. Again, you know more of the comics than I do. I don't think this has anything to do with the comic books, but I do remember this being a part of the video game, the second one in the 2003 series. Oh man, just enjoy this. This is just so cool for, at least for Michelangelo fans and other Turtles. I think they did a good job with everybody here in the big brawl.
Yeah, the big brawl, big 4-parter. There's so much going on. I don't know where to start. But hey, once again, as I said, something that was teased earlier, now we find out more about it, because apparently Splinter disappears every 3 years for some time. And now the Turtles want to find out what's going on, where does he go to? And they find out that Splinter goes to the Battle Nexus, which is like this nexus between dimensions, where every 3 years the strongest warriors from the multiverse come together to fight in a big tournament to find out who's the greatest warrior of them all. And as I said, the Turtles follow him to this world, and they get in the middle of it. They're like, oops, okay, now we're also in the tournament. And that's where the Ultimate Ninja from earlier and the Ultimate Daimyo came from. The Ultimate Daimyo is the one who runs this tournament. And, there's this big tournament now going on. The Turtles are in there. Draximus, the Triceraton from earlier, is also in there, some other characters. And also we meet Miyamoto Usagi and Jin, the Usagi's friend, the rhinoceros. So this is Usagi's debut in this series, and straight off he becomes like best buddy with Leonardo. It's fantastic, and while the tournament is going on, there's like this big conspiracy in the background that the Ultimate Ninja wants to become the new daimyo. He wants to take down his father, but he wants to but the Turtles did it. He wants to pin the how should I put it, the guilt on the Turtles. It doesn't make sense, does it? So the Turtles are responsible for it, and Splinter even gets thrown into prison because it seems like he was the one behind it. And then we find out that the Ultimate Ninja even works together with someone, and that someone is Draco, a giant dragon guy who fought Splinter last time in the Battle Nexus. In the finale, Splinter defeated him, and so Splinter became the champion last time. And so he's out for revenge. And, it's really crazy because in the end, the Ultimate Ninja and Draco, they want to get their hands on the magical war staff of the Daimyo, which is this super powerful artifact. But that creates like a rift in time and space, and in the end it sucks up Draco and the Ultimate Ninja before the rift can be closed. So now they are lost between worlds. But through all this, during the tournament, none other than Michelangelo comes out as the winner of the tournament. He becomes the Battle Nexus champion, and which drives Raphael crazy, because Mikey was actually, during the tournament, he was fighting Raphael, and he was able to defeat him because he was taunting him. So that Raphael goes crazy and defeat him with his own strength. So, Mikey was actually pretty smart there. And, Mikey is the new Battle Nexus champion. Turtles go back to Earth. Everything is fine. Until we see that out in space, a Triceraton fleet has appeared over Earth, because they found out that the Fugitoid and the Turtles, they were teleported to this planet, and they are getting ready for invasion of Earth. And that's the cliffhanger ending of season 2. And as I mentioned before, that was the ending of the whole show for us over here in Germany and Austria, because we didn't get seasons 3 through 7, and it's horrible. There's such a cliffhanger ending. Oh my God, the Triceratops is gonna invade Earth. This is it. Yeah, that's everything.
Oh
Crazy,
gosh,
fantastic season finale.
with where you are now, I could only imagine with your experience in podcasting and not being as nervous. You know, most of us who do podcasts are a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more confident. I could vision you out there getting people to sign a petition, bring season 3 to Germany and Austria, knocking door to door on people's houses. I can see it just because you would have been like, I need to watch this. Well, thank God we live in a generation where there is technology so you can enjoy the rest of these. But I wanted your thoughts on who would you have chosen for the Battle Nexus champion, and how, for me as a Michelangelo fan, I didn't cry, but it touched my soul when Splinter laid down for Michelangelo to let him pass, like a passing of the torch. Remember, Mike and Splinter were supposed to go at it too in this battle tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fantastic, because Mike is like, I have to fight Splinter. I have no chance against Splinter. And but then this whole scene where Splinter's like, hey, it's time for the next generation. So Michelangelo, you go on. And this was a great moment. This was a great father son moment, and even a great teacher pupil moment there. It was really great. I mean, Mikey had some luck with his fights there, like Splinter, and well, he knew what to do with Raphael.
Yeah.
And even in the end, he was like knocking out the big bad guy, the Claw was this giant alien guy. He was even able to knock him out, but just by accident, actually. But once again, that's a thing that comes back later to haunt Mikey. But yeah, Mikey had some luck, but hey, I gotta say, he deserves it. He's always like the guy who everybody thinks is like, hey, he's a goofy, he's like the party dude, he doesn't take anything seriously. But if he really is into it, he can be the most talented of them all. We saw that here, we saw it in the 2012 show, and I mean, just look at the last Ronin comics. Who is the one who's the Ronin? I mean, Mikey has potential. He deserves to be the Battle Nexus champion.
I agree, my friend. I agree. And that's kind of how life is too for a lot of people. You know, this is actually a good life lesson here as well. It's like, if you give it your best, you can be the best. And also, just to add a little more to your, argument for Mike deserving the championship. Also, in the old Fred Wolf episode, remember Leatherhead meets the Rat King? Who's the one standing on top? Michelangelo dominates Leonardo, and Donatello with victory. Mount Trashmore is ours. When it was teams and they were making fun of Mike. You remember that one where Donatello was shooting garbage on his pizza?
Absolutely. I mean, at first, Mike is like, I don't want to fight, but when he has to, because his pizza gets destroyed, he's like, oh, now I'm angry, and you don't want to make me angry. And he's like trashing everyone. He comes out on top. He can do it.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, Christian, as always, it's a pleasure having you on here for so many episodes. Just always appreciative of your time. If people want to find more than 500 podcast episodes for German language and over, is it 150 for the United States right now? Feel free to let us know how many episodes you got for us who unfortunately only speak English, but I really appreciate you giving us, so many Turtle fans, just a great place to settle in, whether they're driving to work or just kicking back doing some chores. Feel free to plug your channel here, my friend.
Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, I've already have over 200 English episodes, so it's something for everyone to check out, and they're still coming out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Dead Talk, my podcast. Well, check it out on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, pretty much everywhere, or just check out the website TMNTTalk.com. You can find everything there. You can find me on the socials like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm pretty much everywhere. Hey, check it out. It might be for you.
Oh, exactly. It is for me. I mean, again, just with again, guys, well, I'll keep plugging this one for him so he doesn't have to. He got to talk to the voice of Baxter Stockman, who was in so many episodes in this series, guys. Get to know him a little bit more. Get to know Christian. Just a wonderful podcast, a wonderful human being. Thank you again for being here, and I look forward to doing another episode soon with you, buddy.
Anytime, my friend, anytime.